Hello mi gente, I'm content creator Keskion and this is All the Juice, the podcast where I interview content creators and influencers to learn their lives, their challenges and their juicy secrets. Today at All the Juice we have a table tennis player and content creator. He is 2 times winner of Finnish championships in doubles and silver medal in singles. He has participated in 5 European and 2 world championships and he's one of the founders of Pongfinity, a table tennis channel that gathers over 7 million followers across platforms. He is Miikka O'Connor and he's also my partner in crime and in life. So thank you for being here today. I'm very happy to have you. And just letting everyone know more about your life, your career, and some of your juicy stuff, even though I know it, but
you probably know everything.
The viewers don't know,
yes.
So let's try to make it. So what are you drinking today?
I'm drinking coffee.
Okay. How is that a juice?
It's technically a juice because it's squeezed from beans. Mm-hmm. And if something's squeezed from something, it's bean juice.
Okay, so well, cheers.
Cheers.
Coffee time.
And thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course.
It's my first ever podcast. I've never been on a podcast before.
Are you for real?
Yeah, no, never.
I thought you were in radio.
Yeah, I've been on radio
recently.
and TV, but never podcast.
Okay. As I said, you're a table tennis player, but like how?
Well, yeah, it's not the most common sport, especially in Finland.
Yeah.
Like there's seriously not many players in Finland, so it's not the most obvious choice of starting a new sport. But when I was a kid, I lived quite close to the table tennis hall, and my dad had played younger, so he had some, experience with table tennis. So he took me and my brother to the hall, like every Sunday or something. It started like that, and then we just got more and more excited, and then well my brother doesn't play anymore, he only played for a short while, but yeah, then I got excited and I got quite good, and then I continued. That's
very nice to hear. Is your dad still playing?
Yeah. Yeah, he's he plays like the 3rd division in Finland.
Okay.
With a bunch of old guys. But
so we are people who don't understand anything about table tennis, what is 3rd league like? What is the level?
Yeah, it's just like it's a low division, and yeah, they just play for fun. It's
okay.
But yeah, he still plays, and he does coach. He coaches juniors and.
Does he?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
No.
No.
And he actually coaches juniors in the same club that I grew up in. That's
super nice. So when is the moment that you realize you are getting good at it?
Maybe when I won my first tournament.
Okay.
Like I still have the trophy at my parents' place.
How old were you?
I think I was 6 or 7. But like.
Wow, that's quite young.
Yeah, and the trophy, it says like 1st place of 7-year-olds class. And I was like, because I was trying to figure out when I started playing, and I looked through the trophies. It was like 2002 or something, or 2003, and it's like boys 7-year-olds, and then like 1st place, and I think it's my coolest trophy so far. Like it's the most meaningful.
I can imagine. Yeah. I mean, it's the first one.
Yeah.
So you started before you were 6 years old.
Probably when I was 6 years old. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm 26 now, so 20 years.
Oh my God, 20 years doing the same.
Yeah.
Haven't you get bored at all?
No, not at all. Like it's well, it might seem like it's the same, but because the sport is so complex and there's so many details and like tactics, and it's just so technical that you keep learning things.
All the time.
Even though you played at a high level for several years, you just keep developing and you keep coming up with new ideas, and that's why I find it really interesting still, because it doesn't have a limit to how far you can improve, really.
I find it so impressive because when I was a kid I couldn't commit to any sport. Like I've tried so many things. I did like swimming at the beginning, and then I changed to badminton for a while, and I did gymnastics, I did basketball. Basketball is the one that I committed the most. I think I was like 5 or 6 years doing basketball.
Yeah.
And then I tried so many things, and tennis for a while also, like less than a year.
You played tennis?
But like less than a year.
Okay.
So I don't even remember anything. I was very young. And then I think basketball is the one that I played the most, also because my brother is very tall, and since he was very young, he was super tall. So he joined this basketball team, and then I went to watch him sometimes. And the manager once came to me and he told me, like, because I am 161, like I'm 161 centimeters.
Yeah, basketball
so like,
is not like something you would connect with.
Listen, but like it has a sense, okay? When I was a kid, like when I was in elementary school, I joined the basketball team maybe when I was 8 or 9. I was already 155, 160, which is a lot.
Yeah.
Like, it's super tall for a kid. So I was supposed to be tall, you know?
And then gradually everybody started growing. You just stayed there and like, okay.
So that's why the manager, when he saw me and knowing that my brother was also very tall, he told me oh yeah, why don't you join? Like, we have this girls team, would you like to join? And I was like, yeah, actually, why not? So I did like a test.
Yeah.
And then I joined the team and I started as a pivot, the tallest one.
Yeah.
And then during those 5-6 years, I went from pivot to base.
You went further and further away from the actual basket. I also did like at least over 5 different sports I did.
When?
You probably don't even know what sports I did as like a 5, 6, 7-year-old.
No.
I
was just gonna ask.
Yeah, like, okay, you try and guess what sports I've done.
Football?
Football, yes. I did football for quite a long time.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
You mentioned once.
And I played for years, and like it came to a point where.
But how do you play for years if you join the table tennis when you are 6? Like there's no range of time.
I know, but like I did both. Like I went to table tennis practice, and after table tennis practice, I went to football practice, and like.
No.
Yeah, I was doing it all, and I think doing a lot of sports as a kid really benefited me later on. I was fast. I had good coordination, good balance, but that was because I had done so many other sports as well. So I didn't have to learn everything, and it was also like it made table tennis more interesting because it wasn't only the same all the time. I could do like other stuff and like. So yeah, I think it's very good to do several sports as a kid, and then you can also see like which one you like the most, and then actually continue with that one. Okay, well, you will never guess what the other ones are.
So football, table tennis.
Yeah,
we're missing 3.
Well, I never really did track and field, but my
track and field.
Yeah, no, but like I never like actually did track and field, but like my dad, he also took me and my brother to this like outdoor running field. They had long jump. They had like running around. So he just we cycled there and just did that together, and we were doing laps and like that was something we did every now and then. So I guess you could call that being one of my hobbies too.
Okay, yes.
Even though it wasn't like I never belonged to a club or anything, I didn't have gear or anything, but like
But it counts definitely.
Yeah, and I think that was also something that really helped me out in the future because I had done a lot of running, a lot of jumping, and like so active as a kid.
Yeah, it's true. Like this guy, he jumps like a monkey. It's crazy. It's crazy. I swear, I've never seen anyone jumping that high.
When have you seen me jumping?
When you are like practicing before like playing a match, you always do those jumps.
Because I want to feel explosive, then I do like the
And the first time I was just like, I'm dating a monkey.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. But yeah. So what are the other 2 or one?
Well, one is dancing.
And it makes sense because you dance quite good and you actually like it.
Yeah, I like dancing. But literally, if you start dancing as a 5-year-old, you're just playing games there,
Yeah.
It's
okay.
I don't remember much from the dancing classes, but I remember there was like an obstacle course. And like you did like X jumps and you crawled over these things.
Okay.
And you were crawling through the tubes and like...
Sounds more like acrobatics.
It was just like place to play around and like do coordination stuff and a bit of exercise. I can't even remember, did we ever get to the actual
dancing?
Yeah, dancing. And the last one is quite funny actually. I did karate. Can you imagine?
No,
I literally did. I had the white gown and everything.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm trained self-defense martial arts expert.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
As a 5-year-old kid.
So if you ever get into trouble, I'm here to protect you with my
Mm-hmm.
karate experience.
Mm-hmm. So when did you start to actually play full time?
Well, it's difficult to say when you start full time because as a kid and as a junior, well, you practice like 7 times a week, but you're also doing school and everything. When I finished Lukio, which is like high school, when after like 17, 18, then I moved to Sweden, and for 2 years I did it as like a semi-professional and full-time practicing, only focusing on the sport. So that's the only time I've like played table tennis full-time and played the league in Sweden. But besides that, I've either worked or studied at the same time. So
You've been in 5 European Championships and 2 World Championships. When does that happen? Which one is the first one that you go? I guess an European Championship?
I actually, the first one I do remember because I actually stumbled upon a video from that tournament, and it had like, it was titled European Championships 2013. So that was my first like time representing the senior national team. And before that I had played like the junior European Championship since I was like 12, 13, 14, 15.
Okay.
But like that was the first time I was playing in like senior level. And yeah, I did quite well. I won several matches there. So
That's
it was a
very
good
nice.
start.
Yeah. And so you've been in 2 World Championships. How do you get to a World Championship? What does that mean for your career? Like, because as I told you, I've never done any big sport, so it sounds so big to be in a World Championship. Like, what?
Yeah. It's also one of the benefits of being good in a sport in a country that the sport isn't big in, because you don't have to be top 200 in the world to get to represent your country.
Okay.
Because then we only had one player in the top 100. So and the rest of us, we were just maybe around 400 in the world at the time in ranking. For me, it didn't feel like I had achieved something like massive.
Okay.
Just getting to the World Championships, because I knew that even though I'm in the Finnish national team, even though I made it to the World Championships, I'd still have to like be a lot better to actually achieve something in like a World Championship level scale. And like I knew my level wasn't there yet, so I was just like, I was the best to represent the team, but that didn't mean I would be able to like actually win any medals or like get close to that even. So
yeah. Where was the first World Championship that you've been?
I've been to one in Malaysia and one in China. And the one in China was my first one, and it was also the first time realizing how massive table tennis is as a sport, because it's the national sport in China. And literally the whole stadium was full of people, and like there was I was just overwhelmed, like how all
You've
these
never
people
experienced
to
that
like
before.
come in to watch table tennis. Like in Finland you have maybe maximum 50 people in the audience, like if it's like a big event like Finnish championships. The first shock was when the bus took us to the hall. They literally closed a whole road.
For you?
Yeah. They had like, we had a police escort in front and the back of the bus. And it was, you know, like, it was in Shanghai. So like, there was probably like 10 lanes of road. And they literally shut down the whole thing just for our little bus to go through. And there was just like, and people were stopping by the edge of the road and like, they're going there, and I was just thinking, I'm just like a table tennis player from Finland.
Did you actually enjoy the whole experience?
Yeah, it was like, I think, best tournament of my life. Like, and I played doubles with Pentti,
Okay.
the number 1 player in Finland, and we beat 2 very good Hungarian players, and we made it to the main draw, and that was just like in front of the big audience, and like it was. We were losing 2-0 in sets, and then we came back to win it 3-2, and it was like down to 2-point difference, and then it was just like, I think one of the most memorable matches I played, because it was my first World Championship.
Did you find any challenges as a kid to find a balance between your professional table tennis life and your personal life?
Yeah, I think every kid who has played a sport at a high level can relate to not being able to see your friends, and like having to spend most of the weekends like at tournaments or training camps, and like being a lot of time away from home. So I don't regret anything, because I'm really happy that I've put in all those hours and I've managed to become as good of a player as I am now. But obviously it was it was tough at some point, you know, when you saw your friends starting to go to parties, and like, especially as a teenager, you always have this like, the FOMO is much bigger than what it is as a young adult. So like, I was always just trying to make time, and like sometimes I would go to a friend's party just for an hour or something, just so I could like at least experience it a bit, and then, you know, go to like training after that. Then I had so much energy as a kid, so I used to do like, I went to school, then I went to practice for like 3 hours. I was at the hall, and then after coming back home around 7 or 8, I went out to see my friends, go skateboard and stuff like that, and then come home around 9 or 10, and then, you know, do the same thing over the next day. So I just packed everything into my like daily schedule so I could, you know, socialize and practice. And
So you've had like packed days since you were a kid.
Yeah, I'm very used to having like a schedule packed from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m.
And how do you cope on the days that you don't have anything to do?
I usually don't. I usually don't have days where I don't have anything. Like now I have a free weekend, but still I have like 10 things on my schedule. So.
But how do you find time for yourself then? Because you do so many things all the time that it's difficult to find time for yourself and focus on you and just look inside you to know how you're feeling and what you're going through and what would you like to improve, and you know.
And yeah, that's something that I didn't do as a kid at all. Like, cause I had this mentality that if I'm not, you know, at a tournament, at a training camp, if I'm finally have a chance to, you know, have some free time, then I'll, you know, make the most of that time to like make up for the parties I never made, and like make up for the time I didn't get to do stuff with my friends or family. So so I sort of, you know, always had to have something, because I felt like I'd missed out so much. Then I just like packed everything. I never learned to, you know, just have a weekend off and just like spend time on my own. But I think recently I've learned how to, you know, also have some time for myself. Like, still I have a lot of work to do, but at least I'm aware of that I don't have to all the time be doing something.
I fully agree. I had the same, because I was not doing professional sports or anything, but I was doing professional music. I played, well, as you know, I played the piano for 15 years. I was going to the professional music school in the evenings after school, normal school.
And that's like something you can put loads of hours in, like.
And you have to put so many hours, because it's the time that you are in classes and the time you are practicing at home the piano. I was playing the piano. And then when you are in high school and you have all of that, plus you are getting the driving license and you have to study for the university entry exams. And on top of that, I used to live in a small town in the mountains that was like 15 kilometers from the main city. So I was always so busy with all the school, all the music, especially as a teenager when my friends were, as you said, going out, going to parties. And then I had either, like, I was living so far from the actual action happening that I had either to get a bus, the latest one was at 9 p.m. or then sleep at a friend's house, and I couldn't sleep every weekend on a friend's house. So I was missing out so much, and I felt like it was stressing in some point. That's why I was just wondering, like, how was it for you? Because I haven't learned to be by myself until I moved to Finland. Like, before that, I had literally like loneliness, anxiety, you know, like
that's what Finland does to you. It teaches you how to be alone.
But for real, I never, because as you did, I filled every single free day that I had to meet my friends, spend time with my family. And then when I had the opportunity to be alone, especially, I started to have more time for myself in uni, because I quit music professionally. When I had time, I was living with roommates, and the weekend that my roommates were not there and I usually didn't have plans on Sunday, but I used to spend it with the roommates. The weekend that they were not there and I was alone on Sundays, I was so sad.
Yeah.
I was just like feeling like the house was just like eating me alive,
Yeah.
you know?
Because you're not used to it, and then you just have to have something and like have
Yes. So it was so
some activity.
stressing.
Yeah.
And then I came here and I moved alone to a studio, so I actually gradually learned how to be by myself and enjoy my free time, you know, and do plans by myself. So I found it so hard that I can imagine how hard it is for you too.
I'm still working on it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad that you're over that, but like I'm still working on being able to spend time with myself and like not having to pack my schedule full of activities.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it also makes a difference when you are living alone, because then you get to spend more time by yourself. Like now we are live together, so it's kind of difficult for you to have time for yourself at home or do things for you.
Yeah.
But when you experience the fact of like living alone and doing all the stuff by yourself, then it gets easier. And also when you move to a new country, you have not that many friends.
Exactly.
You know, so you get more opportunities to learn that, even though at the beginning it's hard.
Yeah, like you even though you wouldn't want to, you know,
you have
a weekend on your own, then, you know, you might end up having one.
Yeah. But I'm glad that you're working on that. I think it's very important. And I hope I help you as much as possible.
You do.
Sometimes I just, you know, guys, I just go for a walk 1 hour or an hour and a half so he can be at home alone.
Yeah, you're just like, I'm gonna go for a walk, and I'm like, okay, would you want? Can I come with you? No, you have some time for yourself.
Yeah, because
like, okay, yeah, well that makes sense, because you know, if I'm all day at work and you know I come back here and
I'm here, yeah. And again, as you say, like you barely have time for yourself. Sometimes I just think like, okay, he hasn't had any free time in a month.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, wow, I will be so anxious. And still, you are so positive all the time. How do you manage to be so positive and so happy all the time?
Because I really enjoy what I'm doing. I'm like, my days are packed, but they're packed full of stuff I really enjoy doing. So it doesn't even feel like I'm that busy, even though I'm like, on paper, I'm extremely busy. Mm-hmm. So like, if I would be doing only stuff I don't like, then I'd be pretty miserable.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just like the time... like resting and time for myself is just something I need to fit and make time for that.
Yeah.
But I also think like, because I play league matches in Germany and it's a lot of travel, and a lot of people hate traveling, but I actually quite enjoy the time. Like I'm going time at the airport, in the flight, and like going to the town where the matches are. Like that's all time for myself.
Yeah, that's true.
So I can, you know, read a book, I can watch something, I can listen to music or a podcast or anything, and just like have that time, because I can't really do anything else. I'm just traveling.
Yeah.
So it's like those are the times I'm really forced to, you know, just spend time with myself. So I try and value those too. Like it's not just like, oh, I've got to travel for 4 hours, like what a drag. I sort of try and think that, that's 4 hours I can, you know, just calm down.
Focus on you.
Yeah, do whatever I want.
So, when do you start Pongfinity? How does it happen?
Me, Emil and Otto, we've all like been in the junior national team. Me and Otto both represented the senior national team too. And yeah, me and Emil, we played in the same club. And the first video we actually just did after a training session. So we went to practice, and we thought, after practice, let's film some trick shots. And then we stayed after practice, filmed one video and just trying out different. And I think we had like just seen a show where like two very good players had been doing like tricks and everything. And then we were like,
let's do that.
Yeah, we were like, oh, let's try that one. And then we were coming up with new stuff as well. And then Emil, he wanted to try like editing video. So like that was also, he could fulfill that interest too, and then we were just
it's terrible.
Yeah,
the first video is terrible.
It's quite hilarious. Like we had all the explosions, like doing a shot, and suddenly it starts raining, and like everything you can imagine. come very far from the first 1 or 2 videos.
Definitely.
Yeah. It wasn't supposed to become anything. It was just like trying stuff out, and then we were just like surprised by the popularity, and like people who we didn't know actually also watching the video, and that was big for us. And then we thought, okay, well, that was quite fun to do, and surprisingly many people liked it. Like, and then we made another one, and Otto was already in the second video, and we were doing it together. And yeah, that's how it just started, and it was very gradual. Like we didn't blow up all of a sudden. Like that was we posted our first video 10 years ago.
Okay.
So it's been a long process to where we are now.
Was that before you moved to Sweden? Because you said that you were like pursuing the professional life in Sweden.
Yeah.
So that happened before or after you came back from Sweden?
This was before I moved to Sweden. So we had already been doing some videos, but it wasn't, as I said, it wasn't that serious in the beginning, and we were just sort of trying it out. Once I moved back, we just got together and thought, okay, shall we try this? Like we had at that point maybe around under 100,000 followers on YouTube, but like still quite
a lot.
Quite a lot. But we thought maybe if we put all our focus on this, maybe we can make it grow even bigger. In 1 year, we made it from 100,000 to 1 million. And then
that's impressive.
Yeah, and then
massive growth.
Very fast at that point, and then we just realized, okay, there is a lot of potential in this, and we all enjoyed doing this. So let's try and make it into something big, and now here we are
with 3.5 million followers on YouTube. So what are your plans for short term future?
Short future.
Yeah.
Well, I think the next milestone is 5 million followers, and. Well, basically, after we reached 1 million followers, we haven't that much paid attention to, the amount of followers. We're just, we're more focused on having the goal to make as good videos as possible, and really making the next video better than the previous. So that's the focus has been more there, instead of okay, let's get to the next, let's get to 2 million, 3 million, 4 million.
Yeah.
And so we've more been focusing on, improving our content, and just making it new ideas all the time. And I think that's our main goal, just to keep doing that. And if we can keep doing that, then yeah, I think we've achieved our goal. And that's something that doesn't really have a clear ending. We will keep doing videos as long as we can come up with interesting stuff, new stuff, exciting things, and as long as it's also fun for us. Well, obviously we hope that we reach as many people as possible, but the main thing is to just do good content.
Yeah,
I guess.
And I think that's very important as a content creator, that you provide value to people, especially because your audience is very young.
Yeah.
And I love when you are recognized on the street or in matches, and it's just those little kids who started playing table tennis because they have seen you, Otto and Emil, doing the videos.
Yeah.
I find it so inspiring because you are promoting a sport that is really good for kids and for learning a lot of things. And on top of that, I don't know, you are taking them from consuming content that maybe is not that good for them, I don't know, I find it lovely.
Yeah, and it's the best messages and the best comments you get is kids and players who have say that, yeah, I started playing because of you. And sometimes we bump into players at the local club, and they said yeah, I started playing because of you. And then sometimes you meet actually high level players saying that they
for the same reason.
They saw a video and they went to practice, and now they're top juniors in Finland. And it's so cool to actually see that, because it's a sport that all three of us love. And
yeah, if you could give an advice to your followers or to someone who's starting in table tennis, what would it be?
If you're practicing to become a good table tennis player, and I think this applies in many other things, obviously you need coaching, you need advice, but it's also important to come up with new ideas yourself. If the example is table tennis, if you invent an own serve or something, do something a bit differently. Someone might think, okay, that's a weird serve, nobody does that serve. You can still try it. Test out ideas that might not be good, but at least you've tried them. And like you might learn something unexpected from trying something that doesn't work. If you have an idea that...
Pursue it.
Yeah, just
go for
try it. You will lose nothing. And
applicable for anything.
Yeah.
If you want to start a like TikTok channel or YouTube, if you want to learn how to paint, or if you want to start a new sport, just do it.
Yeah. And literally, it's the mistakes that you learn the most out of.
Yes, absolutely.
So it's like trying something new and bold is like, it will most likely result into mistakes, but those mistakes will teach you so many things that you can apply. So just try as many things out as possible.
Yeah. So as you know, you have asked some questions to your followers, and I would like to check some of them so we can answer what they would like to know about you.
Ask me anything.
So someone is asking, what is your favorite TV show?
Currently, it's House of Dragons.
It's really good.
Yeah. But all-time favorite TV series, I think, is Twin Peaks. Yeah, it's like kind of mystery and drama, and you should watch it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check it.
Yeah.
Definitely. So someone is asking, how are you?
How am I?
And I think it's a really good question. How are you?
I am quite fine. I'm very good, actually.
You're doing fine?
Yeah.
You're feeling happy?
I'm feeling very happy.
Okay, well, that's very nice to hear.
Yeah.
Those Finns, they don't deep dive in anything, huh?
How
you
are
need
you?
to push them. I'm fine. Been better.
You've been better? Yeah.
Yeah, but doing well.
Okay.
Just very excited with the podcast. Getting to interview a lot of interesting content creators, which makes me really happy. And finally doing it, because I've been postponing it for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
And it started off very well, and
Yeah,
I
thank
think
you.
it's going to be a good...
Thank you. Let's see. At least I'm having fun. I'm just doing it because I really want to do it and I want to have fun.
And that's how it should be. Like
Yeah.
whatever you do, like it has to be fun.
Someone is asking, how many hours do you train a week?
At the moment, this season, I do 3 or 4 sessions of table tennis, and then I do gym too.
Yes.
So
2 times a week.
yeah,
I push him to go
Yeah.
to the gym.
you're my gym buddy.
Yes. Okay, if you're a kid and you're listening to this, please stop listening to this at the moment because it's a sensitive topic.
Oh my god, what are you
So
gonna ask me?
You cannot listen to it. Just like move forward a couple of minutes on the podcast.
I'm terrified. What are you gonna ask me?
So, how did you find out that Santa wasn't real?
Wow, that is a sensitive topic.
It is a sensitive topic. I said
good
it.
Good job. Not all the kids left.
Well,
and they're not here hearing this part.
I'm just saying. I gave a warning, so it's on them now.
You did.
I did.
Well, the thing is, my parents, they didn't put that much effort into convincing there was this mysterious Santa Claus
Okay.
dropping all the presents through the chimney. We didn't even have a chimney. I don't know. There was many gaps in the story. So
Okay.
I wasn't very convinced. And one time we were walking down the street, I literally saw like 4 Santa Clauses. It was like Christmas Day or something, and they were just probably going to the next house to pretend that they're the real Santa Claus.
Yeah.
And I was just walking, seeing all these Santa Claus. I asked my dad like, why is there so many Santa Clauses? And it was obvious at that point that it's not real.
How old were you then?
I think about 4 or 5. I don't know.
So young.
Yeah, and like every Christmas Eve, me and my brother, our parents were like, "Yeah, go to bed now," and then me and my brother there, we're in our room, and then we're listening to them pack the presents. Like it was so obvious that it's them doing it in the next room, and then yeah, I mean they tried to keep up the like mystery about it, but no, it wasn't really a big thing.
Well, that's so good for you.
But
honestly.
I still loved I loved Christmas so much, and it wasn't about Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Like it was never about Santa Claus for me. So
That's good, because for me it was traumatizing.
Yeah.
When I learned, I cried for everything. We all know that already.
Yeah.
But I was crying so much because I was 8, 9 years old,
Yeah.
and then someone in school told me that it didn't exist, and I just went home like, so this kid told me this, but I cannot. No, that's not true, you know, because of course it exists. And then my mom was, sit down, we're gonna speak. And I was like, what? And then she told me that Santa Claus didn't exist, that the three magic kings, or whatever is the name, because we celebrate that in Spain.
She just decided to drop all the bombs at the same time.
That because we have like the mouse that gets the tooth, like fairy tooth, it's
fairy.
a mouse.
Okay.
A mouse in
Tooth
Spain.
mouse. Okay.
So that didn't exist either. She drops everything, and I'm just like, what?
I bet she was like, okay, let's just get this over and done with.
My whole childhood was a lie. So how long does it take to film a video for you guys?
If we're doing a challenge episode, which is like probably the most common concept on our channel, where we just do different challenges, and so somebody says like, okay, I want you guys to play a match with coffee cups, and then we play with the coffee cups and just try out different things. And usually we have about 7 or 8 challenges, and maybe 1 or 2 filming sessions, and like one filming session is around 5-6 hours or something, so it can be 1 or 2 days.
Yeah.
And then like if we do a public challenge somewhere, usually that will be just 1 day of filming, but the most of the time goes into the editing, because we usually shoot the whole thing, so we have like 6 hours of material from one filming day, and then we've got all that material to work with and gotta make it fit into like an 8, 9, 10 minute video. So
how long it can take editing a video?
You can easily take around 60, 70 hours even.
So
just
more than a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and because it's a lot of re-editing. We've changed the order, and like we've got so much footage to work with. And on YouTube, it's very important to have a video that doesn't have anything extra and anything boring. So that's also very time consuming to try and figure out, okay, is this part interesting, and like how long can we show this part? So it's editing takes a long time.
So there's people asking, I guess because you are always next to Otto and Emil and they are very tall.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people asking, how tall are you?
I am 173. They're both just under 2 meters. So
yeah, they are huge.
They are huge. And I'm
huge.
I'm maybe just slightly shorter than average, but they are the
the tall ones.
The tall ones.
Yeah, because I remember when we met the first time, I've seen pictures with Otto and Emil, and I was just thinking like, either those guys are huge or he is very short.
Yeah.
And then when I saw you, I got a good surprise. I was like, okay, yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
it's good.
He's not tiny.
He's not tiny, which is nothing against that, guys. But like, I was just wondering, what is your favorite video to film?
Either the comedy ones, like we do like table tennis stereotypes and like table tennis expectations versus reality. Those like comedy sketch type things. Yeah. They're always really fun because you get to do a bit of acting. And
yes, I love this
drama and also the public challenges where we challenge, like we have new people coming in, and also the challenge episodes.
Just choose one. You need to choose one.
I love all of those. Like they're very fun. But, okay, maybe the simple answer is like, when we try something new, I love those the most. Because if we do the same idea many times, then it gets a bit repetitive and boring for us too. But like if we're doing something completely new, then it's usually the most exciting ones. And
lastly, how many languages do you speak?
Fluently, I speak English, Finnish, and Swedish. So like Finnish and English I spoke at home because my dad is English and my mom is Finnish. And then Swedish I learned when I lived there for 2 years, and I literally only spoke Swedish there. So I really made an effort that I would learn the language there. So those 3 I speak fluently. Then I studied French for 8 years at school. So I have a very bad school taught French that, whoever's studied French at school knows that, doesn't mean much.
No, I mean, you can understand a lot.
Yeah.
Which is really good.
Like the basics.
Yeah.
But like you can't get far with only school studying.
Yeah.
And then now I'm studying Spanish.
Yes.
So hopefully
you're doing quite good.
Thank you. Hopefully next summer I'll be able to communicate with your parents.
Yeah, that will be great. Because like for all of you that don't know, in Spain we had a dictator until the 75, which makes like all the parents and all the people who's like 50, 60-year-old, it's very difficult that they got the chance to like learn English when they were in school or when they were kids, because it was not allowed to speak any other language but Spanish.
Yeah.
Like actually we could not me, of course I was not there, but like they could not even speak Catalan, you know, like they could be killed if they were speaking Catalan and all of that. So people who is in their 50s, 60s, they don't speak English in Spain, and then young people speak English, but it's a very rough level because again we just started introducing English in school in the 80s, 90s, so it's still a work in progress, and it's something that they really need to improve.
Yeah.
So we need to go abroad to actually learn English as I did. But yeah. So now I want to deep dive a bit more in the personal stuff.
Okay.
Which is always easy with other guests because I don't know them, but with you it's a bit challenging because I know a lot of things about you. But so you say that you danced, and I know that you love dancing, but which style of dancing is your favorite one?
I don't know much about dancing. I just, I enjoy just dancing, and I don't think it's any style. You've seen me dancing at a bar or something.
Yeah.
I just, do whatever comes to mind. Like, it's not like I'm dancing a specific thing. I'm just, going wild and throwing myself around.
What is your favorite music to dance?
I maybe have to say reggaeton. Like, it's very easy to dance to reggaeton.
Who's your favorite artist?
Favorite artist?
Well, I know, but like...
You know?
Yes. Can I say it?
Yes, you can say it.
I think, maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe it's changed.
Maybe it has changed.
Yeah.
But I think your favorite artist is Stromae.
Stromae?
Yes.
It's one of my favorites, yeah. Because like it has the rap that I really like, and also like electronic that I really like, and it's a combination of French language. So like I really enjoy listening to French music. Mm-hmm. Like he's, I think he's Belgian, but like just listening to the French language.
What is something about you that very few people know?
I used to be a chef in a restaurant.
Yes, you used to be a chef in a restaurant.
Like
that's amazing.
I don't have any education to cooking. I've just I love cooking, and I went to a restaurant to work as a waiter, and then like they needed someone to work in the kitchen, and I started doing shifts there, and then gradually I just only started working in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I did that. That was when I moved back from Sweden to Finland, and like
still Pongfinity was not a thing.
Yeah, we weren't like making any money from it at that stage, so
yeah,
I had to find a job, and I was working in the restaurant.
Spoiler, it was not a fun time.
No.
It was not a fun time. So I'm gonna deep dive a bit more into dating's life.
Okay.
Had you ever had a weird date? Something that you say like, okay.
Once I was on a date where this girl was very into like spirits and candles, and like she's like, okay, we have to shut this candle because there's bad spirits in the room. And I was like, excuse me? How and then I was like, okay, well, let's shut the candle. And they're like, okay, yeah, now the bad spirits are gone. I was like, okay. I wasn't sure, like I didn't know this person that well, and then like they were saying about bad spirits, and I...
Was it a first date?
Yeah, that was the first date.
How did you feel after she said that?
I was just like, well, I'm fine. Like,
have you talked with the spirits?
No, I didn't talk with the spirits. But
shame. You should have.
Yeah.
Like do a Wicca or something.
Yeah, but it's a first date. There's so many things going on. If someone like says something like, yeah, turn the candle so the bad spirits go, and I'm like, yeah, sure, let's turn the candle away, and then like then like later on you just go back to that like, yeah, that is a bit weird. But like in the moment, I'm just like, sure, let's do it. Let's ward away the spirits. That's completely normal.
Like, okay, being 100%, 1,000,000% honest, was there anything weird in our first date?
No, I think we had a very nice first date.
Okay.
And we spent like 10 hours together or something.
No, it was not 10 hours.
So at least 8 or 7 or something like
Yeah,
that.
something
Because we
like that, yeah.
met for coffee
Yes.
during the day, and
Yeah.
then you left around 10 or 11 in the evening.
Yeah.
So we had a very
It was
long,
a long one.
and we had coffee
Yeah.
first, then we went for a picnic, and then you came to my place. We had some pizza. And
Yeah. We watched a film
yeah,
and then I left.
yeah,
That's true. It was a horrible film.
very bad film. Yeah. But it didn't matter.
It was just to spend time together, honestly.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I find it weird where you took me for the picnic.
Yeah, I took you to the forest.
It was just like, oh my god,
Maybe as
as a guy, you don't see that as something weird, you know?
No.
But like, I've never been in the forest, and I was just like, okay, now is when I'm gonna be killed. So I remember that I told you, like, FYI, I sent my location to my friends because I was genuinely
you were paranoid, yeah.
not paranoid, because when you are a girl, you literally
Okay,
have to
yeah.
be careful with so many things.
That makes sense.
And I
yeah.
didn't know you at all, and you were very nice, but like I didn't know if you would be a serial killer.
No, you never know.
So I was just like, at least they're gonna find my body. So I just sent my location to my friends.
But you've made it so far, so
Yeah, so far so good.
yeah,
Here we are.
yeah.
So now we are approaching to the last part of the podcast.
Mhm.
And as you know, there's something that I always ask all my guests,
Okay.
which is, what is your juicy secret? And I'm gonna have a juiceometer here.
Juiceometer, okay.
That is gonna be measuring the juiciness of that secret.
Okay.
So are you ready? Do you have a juicy secret for us?
I don't know what kind of secrets other guests have been telling, but I have a story.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that much of a secret. Well, nobody knows about it. Well, maybe a few people know about it, but so maybe you can classify as a secret, but it's more of an embarrassing story.
Well, it has juice, so
Okay, yeah.
go for it.
Yeah, it definitely has juice. This happened when I was very young, like 13 or 14 or something like that. We were it was actually me and Emil from Pongfinity. Like we were playing a tournament in Sweden, and next to the hall there was like this swimming pool with sauna and everything. So after the matches we went to the swimming pool, we're in the sauna. It was like a sort of spa area.
Yeah.
And I went to the toilet, and I was a bit confused at the time because it was one of those handicap toilets. So it was a very big one, and it had all sorts of like, it had like a, because I was I couldn't find anywhere to flush the toilet.
No.
And you know
I see where you're going.
you know it has one of those strings from the roof.
Yeah.
I was like, okay,
It's a red string.
a red string. I was thinking like I've seen one of those before. Like sometimes you flush the toilet with pulling the thing. Like there is toilets like that, you know. you flush the toilet.
But no, with the single core red, super small.
Yeah, it was. I should have maybe read the signals that it's like a red string coming from the roof.
Okay.
And I pulled on the string that I thought would flush the toilet.
Yeah.
And it was definitely something that needed to be flushed. So I pulled...
Number 2?
Yeah. And I pulled it, and these sirens start going off. And like the toilet has like this blinking light, and it was like... I started panicking. I was like, what? And then, because I was thinking, okay, now I really got to find the thing where to actually flush the toilet, but I couldn't see anywhere. And then I just panicked. I left the toilet, and I went to there was a sauna opposite the toilet. So I just went to the sauna, and it had a window, and I was just sitting in the sauna looking like, oh God, I hope nobody saw that. And then like a bunch of people came to the handicap toilet to see if there's like, somebody actually
emergency.
If there's an emergency. And then they just go and like admire what I had been doing in the toilet, but I was just following the whole situation from the sauna and just thinking like, oh my God, like well now I know what happens when you pull the string.
Yeah, I bet they were thinking just like, oh, those kids again, just doing pranks,
yeah,
you know.
I mean,
Oh my God.
unintentional prank, but yeah.
I think I'm gonna give you a 6.5.
6.5.
Yes. Because it's embarrassing.
It's very embarrassing.
It's very
And it was
embarrassing.
especially embarrassing when it happened. Like now I'm it's over 10 years ago. I've gotten over it.
Yeah.
And
you can explain it to the world.
I can explain it to the world, yeah. And I learned from that too.
Yeah.
Yes.
You've never pulled the string again.
Yeah.
That's
And if I wouldn't have done that, I'd be very curious of what happens if you pull on that red string.
Oh my god. You're like a kid sometimes.
Yes, I am.
Yes, you are. But hey, it's been so nice to have you here. I'm very, very grateful that you gave me the chance.
Yeah.
And that you let everyone know a bit more about your career and about yourself.
And even you learned something new about me.
Yes, I learned a lot of things about you today.
Yeah.
Like year and a half and you still learn so much.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's amazing.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
I really enjoyed my first ever podcast experience.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, you're a great host.
Thank you. I'm very happy to hear that. Thank you so much for being here today and listening this episode of All the Juice podcast. It is available in all podcast platforms, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, and it will mean the world to me if you would subscribe, like, and share All the Juice with your loved ones. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week, and we'll see each other again in 2 weeks.